Today, we're heading to Detroit to visit Greenfield Village, a fascinating and unique attraction that lets us travel back in time to visit 7 historical districts focused on how Henry Ford viewed American inventiveness and ingenuity. While, yes, many of Ford's ideas were problematic, to say the least, what he started here is well worth a visit. I was traveling with family, and my father wanted to make a beeline for the Model T. My great-grandfather was a proud owner of one, and the automotive industry is important to my family. I do think this is a good way to start your day, especially if you want to take a ride in one. The line for the Model T test drives was incredibly long already, and we got there at 10 a.m. After viewing the Model T, you can visit Ford's boyhood home, one of the first buildings that he moved to the spot. And next door is a replica of the factory where he built his first automobiles. From there, we strolled into Greenfield Village's main street, full of period stores from the late 1800s and early 1900s. The sweet shop and haberdashery were well worth a visit, as were the J.R. Jones General Store and the Cohen Millinery. Of course, how much you get out of these stores is partially what you put in. They're incredible docents and living history shopkeepers who are happy to tell you more about the history and the uses of the store and really teach you all about the times when these stores were a normal part of daily life. As you stroll down this busy thoroughfare, you'll also encounter several early American automobiles and horse-drawn carriages, as well as some favorite historical figures. I particularly enjoyed visiting Orville and Wilbur Wright's bicycle shop and workshop, model plane, and their childhood home. The historian station there was absolutely fascinating. So if you have time, definitely talk to the docents there. In fact, throughout the park, one of the greatest parts of Greenfield Village was the quality of the historians and living history interpreters that work there. They were so happy to tell you stories and answer your questions, and this extended to the folks at our next stop, Edison's Menlo Park Complex. At Greenfield Village, you can see the inventor and businessman's Menlo Park Complex at the moment when his team's development of the incandescent light bulb was about to transform the way everything works in the world. You will see the workplaces that gave birth to Thomas Edison and his team's extraordinary innovations, because, let's be real, it wasn't all invented by Edison. And you'll see the first buildings to be illuminated by electric light. In this section of the village, we can also see the homes of people who lived in the US from between the mid-1970s to the 1930s. One of my favorite homes was the home of Webster, who created the Merriam-Webster dictionary that we all know and use today. It was so exciting to me to see a copy of that early dictionary. I really enjoyed visiting Webster's home. And then we ended our day at the working farms of the 1800s. When we entered the house, the smells of fresh apple pie and fresh bread wafted towards us. They were in the process of baking both in the circa 1870s coal stove. The house stems from 1828 and was the childhood home of Harvey Firestone of Firestone Tires. They were baking both the apple pie and the bread for tomorrow's meal. Now, the family would have followed the idea of rest and as little work as possible on the Sabbath, and they were Christian, so since we visited on a Saturday, they were preparing extra food for Sunday, as the family would have done when they lived in that house. And they were using recipes that dated from those early 1800s of when this house was built. I also enjoyed meeting these gorgeous chickens. I mean, just look at these guys. How can they become your chicken dinner? They're so beautiful. Anyway, the pigs were also very happy to make our acquaintance, and the working farm was a really cool experience. After the working farms, the rush of the mill pond draws you in as you enter Liberty Craft Works. There wasn't a ton going on in Liberty Craft Works for us the Saturday that we were there, but when fully staffed, there is a traditional print shop with a printing press, the pottery shop, which features an indoor salt kiln, and periodic glassblowing demonstrations in the 75-year-old Sandwich glass plant. And of course, like any good American tourist attraction, it's also home to the gift shop and additional shopping opportunities. You always end up exiting through the gift shop. Let me know in the comments if you visited and what your experience was, or if you plan to go. Please like and subscribe for more Travel with Amanda, as this is Amanda.Adventuring. I'll take you on the next trip here very soon. See you then.